Yeah, we can start sitting down. Just finding a comfortable position and just doing a few breaths together. Ah, all right, so you can close your eyes and start by taking a deep breath in through the nose if you can, and then just letting it go through the mouth. So deep breath in, and we can also try to hold the breath a little bit. So just for a few seconds. So breathe in and let go. Breathe in, breathe in, and let go. We just let our breath go into a normal rhythm, however it feels like breathing. So focus on the breath coming in and out through the nostrils. Just noticing how the breath coming in is a little bit cooler and the breath coming out is a little bit warmer. Just keep focusing on the breath. And if any thoughts come along, you just notice they are there, but just keep focusing on the breath. You can slowly start to open our eyes. If you're ready, we can come up to a standing position. Just standing at the front of the mat. So we're going to do some salutations. We're going to start by moving our hands all the way up over our head, and leaning a little bit backwards. We're going to be moving slowly towards the ground, down to the forward bend. And just let the head and the shoulders relax completely. Let your lower back relax completely. You can just feel how the more we relax, the more we go deeper into the position. And just remember to breathe. You can get both hands in the ground, right foot coming all the way back, right knee in the ground, the left foot in a 90-degree angle, and then lifting up the chest, looking towards the front. You can also have the right knee a little bit above the ground if you want some deeper stretch. And try to keep the hips kind of square or face towards the front.
You try to
Take
keep
some,
any muscles engaged during this, or kind of relax them, like
yeah, just kind of trying to find like the minimum muscle use needed and then relaxing on top of that sort of. I'm feeling mostly like my left thigh, I guess, is holding me up, and a little bit my hands as well. You can take the left foot back as well, coming into downward facing dog. Here we wanna push the chest towards the floor, opening up the shoulder blades and letting our head or neck relax in the middle. You can have a little bit bent knees if you want to. Also try to spread out the fingers so we get a solid hand grip on the floor. Then we'll take both knees to the ground, chest to the ground, and chin to the ground. And here our middle part of the body will be a little bit above the ground. Just try to relax into this position. And then we're gonna let our body straighten out, and we're coming into Cobra. So we're lifting up our upper body, taking a few breaths here, and trying to focus on the muscles in the back to lift us up. Also opening up the chest. Back down. Coming back into downward facing dog. Chest towards the floor. Opening up the shoulder blades, letting our neck relax, and a little bit bent knees. And we're taking our left foot all the way to the front. Right knee to the floor, or a little bit above. Opening up the chest and looking towards the front. And just breathing. Taking our left foot towards the front, coming into a forward bend again. Letting our shoulders and neck relax. breathe in. Slowly coming up. All the way towards the top with our hands coming above our heads. And when we get there, we can lean a little bit back, stretching the front of the body. And coming to center and letting our arms fall back down on the sides. And just shake loose a little bit. Maybe feel a little bit how the body feels now that we've moved a little bit. And then we're going to do the other side. So both hands coming above the head. Leaning a little bit back. And then slowly coming towards the front. Coming into a forward bend with our shoulders and neck relaxed. And just breathing deeply. You maybe feel as we breathe that we are just falling deeper and deeper into the position. Maybe the stretch is intensifying a little bit. And just breathe into the area where you feel the stretch. We're taking both hands to the floor. Left foot coming back this time. Left knee to the ground or a little bit above. Right knee in a 90-degree angle. Opening up the chest and looking towards the front. And just breathe. And it's like I feel in this position, like the more I relax, the kind of less I use of my muscles. Kind of falling into the stretch instead of holding myself up, sort of. Taking the right foot all the way back, coming into downward facing dog. Fingers spread, chest towards the floor. A little bit bent knees. Can also have them straight if you prefer it. You can also try to kind of open the shoulder blades and just feel how the kind of neck is a little bit freer to fall forward when you do that. Taking knees, chest and chin to the floor. Just laying here for a bit. Straightening out the body and lifting ourselves up into cobra, mainly using the back muscles, but supporting a little bit with the hands as well. Back down. We're pushing ourselves back into downward facing dog. Thinking about the same things with chest towards the floor, fingers spread, and trying to open up the shoulder blades and letting the head relax. And we're letting our right foot come all the way to the front. Left knee in the ground or a little bit above. Opening up the chest and looking towards the front. Taking our left foot to the front, coming into forward bend. Just relaxing the shoulders and the head, falling forward.
I'll notice in this position sometimes if I try and tuck my butt a little, there's like a little more stretch in my lower back. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, I feel similar.
My lower back has I usually arch it way too much. I've been trying to straighten that a bit.
Oh yeah. So let's straighten it out. So coming slowly up, all the way up with the hands above the head. And then going a little bit back. Coming back to center, and then letting our hands fall slowly to the side. Taking a deep breath, shaking loose a little bit. Then we'll just waken up the spine a little bit more. So we're going to be spinning our hands, or we kind of going to be spinning only the upper body, or mainly the upper body. So we're trying to keep our knees as still as possible. So just kind of letting our hips go from side to side. And then also letting our eyes kind of follow the hand that goes the furthest back. So the whole spine is kind of moving the entire way. Just remember to breathe here also. So we do this. And also not doing it like too hard. It's easy to kind of stretch the muscles on the side a little bit if we're not used to doing that kind of sideways twisting. And kind of just letting our hands kind of flow with gravity, not using so much muscles. Then we can slowly let the movement slow down, just letting our hands kind of come back to the middle. And now we're gonna kind of release a little bit of energy from the system. So this is a technique called chopping wood. So that's basically the movement. So we're going to be kind of pretending like we have an axe between our hands. And we're going to taking over our head, breathing in, and then we're going to breathe hard out and go down. Yeah. And then back up, breathing in, and then down. Breathing in. Breathing in. In. Breathing in. Breathing in. Breathing in. And slowly come back to our feet. So now we're coming down on our butts with our feet towards the front. So we're gonna keep, we're gonna stay on the farm. So we're gonna be doing a movement called, translated to churning butter or something like that. So we're basically gonna have as straight back as you can and kind of maybe push it up a little bit. And then we're going to be moving kind of the body around and kind of doing like a churning motion. You can also try to breathe in when we go back and then breathe out when we go to the front. So the idea with the breathing is usually that when our chest is open, we want to breathe in, and when it's kind of hunched forward and closed, we want to breathe out. We can do the other side, just on the way. And also just try to focus on where you're feeling the sensations. Like for me, I'm feeling it very much in my lower back when I go to the front. Just paying attention to the sensations. All right, we can stop. And then we're gonna first just have our feet straight ahead and straightening out the back as good as we can. And then we're taking our hands while we breathe in over our heads. And then we're just kind of falling down. Maybe you feel natural to have your hands on your shins or your ankles or maybe above the toes. So just whatever feels all right there. There's no need to kind of push ourselves too much into a stretch. It's better to just breathe and gradually kind of fall into the stretch more. Just take deep breaths, slow breaths. You can let your neck relax as well here. Just find the rhythm in the breath and just let your body sink deeper into the stretch. And we can slowly come back up to seated position. We're going to be spreading our legs as far as we can. And we're going to be doing a similar motion. So with the legs spread, maybe not as far as you can, but maybe a little bit in from that. And then we're taking a breath in again, coming up with the hands. And we're starting with the left side and just letting our body fall down to wherever feels comfortable. Slowly coming back up, so just letting our hands come above the head again. And from here, we're going straight towards the right foot in the same motion. Slowly coming back up, hands over our head, and just letting them fall down. And then we're letting our feet meet in the middle. Just going to be leaning a little bit forward, so straightening out the back, and then letting our hands come over our head while we breathe in. And then we're just going to fall towards the front. No need to push especially hard. Just let the hands fall where it's natural, and then just breathe slowly. And it'll be gradually more stretching. I feel in this position that kind of my breath in kind of makes the stretch more intense, and then as I breathe out, I'm able to kind of relax more into or more towards the floor with the feet.
Yeah, it's like on the exhale, you can sink a little deeper into the stretch.
I can also feel like now after a little while, I'm kind of feeling like my back is starting to stretch a bit more as well.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly come back up. Then we're going to come on our stomachs, so just flat on the floor. So we're going to start by just warming up our back a little bit here. So hands towards the front, like straight out. And then we're going to be taking the left hand up, while at the same time taking the right foot up, and kind of just noticing how we're using our back. And in this position, it's good to just look directly towards the floor. Back down, taking the right hand up and our left foot up, lifting with our back. Letting it come down. And then we're doing the other side again. So left hand up and right foot up. Come back down. And then we're doing right hand up and left foot up. Coming back down. And then we're just gonna do a few cobra again, which we did in the warm up. So just lifting up the upper body, using as much as the back muscles as we can, and then supporting a little bit with the hands, kind of opening up the chest, shoulders back a little bit. And it's also okay to kind of look a little bit up, opening up the throat as well. And taking a few breaths. And we're coming back down. And then we're going back up into cobra. And then we're coming down again. So we can go quickly into crocodile pose and just relax a little bit. So just use your hands as support for your forehead. And then we're taking our feet pointing out, but just laying flat and relaxing a bit, and maybe noticing how the body can relax a little bit. And then we're getting our feet together again. And then we'll be lifting our feet up in the air. And just, you can come up with the head as well. And now we're going to be grabbing our foot. So around the ankles for both feet. And we can just start here a little bit, kind of feel how this position is feeling. And as we feel comfortable here, we can kind of start to pull the hands and the feet a little bit from each other. So mainly using the feet to kind of pull us up and arching the back. And also try to look towards the front or a little bit up here. And then we're going to be coming back down. And we're coming back into crocodile for a little bit. We can let our feet come together again. So we're going into the same position one more time. Just grabbing our foot or both feet, looking towards the front. And then when we feel comfortable, we can kind of start to pull the feet a little bit back and coming into an arch. Just try to breathe here as well. Not the easiest position to breathe in. And we can come back down. And we're going into child pose. So we're kind of pushing ourselves back, standing on the knees, lowering our body on top of our knees, and just letting our hands kind of lay towards the front, and also letting our forehead hit the ground. You can just feel how this opposite position is kind of evening out a little bit of the arch we just did. So we can come up. And then we're going to be going over to our back, laying down as well. So I'm going to do it the other way because I need some space for my hands here on the sides. So just laying flat on the ground, finding a good position here. And then we're going to let both our, or just the right foot come up with kind of the knee pointing towards the ceiling. And then we're going to let our left foot come on top of the knee. And then we're going to be pulling it back. So either by grabbing behind the thigh or grabbing in front of the shin, depending on how flexible you are here. And then the idea is that the head is just falling all the way back. And we're just going to be breathing into the stretch, opening up gradually more and more. Letting our foot come back down. We're going to be switching this position. So left foot in the ground and let the right foot come on top of the left knee. Then we're grabbing a hold of either the thigh or the shin. And just finding the position again with the head leading back on the floor. And just breathing into the stretch. Let our foot come back to the ground. And now our both feet can be in the ground with the knees pointing out. And we're going to be grabbing a hold of both of the knees and kind of just hugging the knees. And here it's also possible to move around a little bit if you feel that's maybe comfortable for some part of your body. It's also okay to just be still if you prefer. Okay, come back down with the feet, and then straightening out completely, laying on the floor. And then we're going to be doing a twist for our back. So we can start by taking the right knee up. So the knee is pointing towards the ceiling. And then we can take our hands out to the side. And then we're going to let our knee fall over our left foot. Just landing on the side. And then maybe adjusting the shoulder position a little bit if you feel like it. And then it's also possible to look towards the right hand if you want a little bit of an extra stretch here. And just keep breathing deeply. Moving back to a neutral position again. You can stretch out the legs, and then we'll let the left leg come up with the left knee towards the ceiling. Still hands towards the side, so we can let our left foot come over our right foot. Twisting the back, and then maybe adjusting a little bit on the shoulders, and then looking towards the left hand if you want a little bit of an extra stretch. And just breathe. Slowly coming back up into neutral position. Now we're going into the final exercise, which is Shavasana or corpse pose. So we're just gonna kind of find relax completely here. So just find a comfortable position on your back and let the palms face the ceiling. And then we're taking a few deep and slow breaths. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just find a rhythm. Every time we breathe out, we can just feel how our body is relaxing a little bit more. Let our breath come into a normal rhythm and just leave the breath alone. Maybe we can imagine that we are melting through the floor. There's absolutely no need to use any muscles, just letting our body relax completely. Slowly start to move our toes and our fingers a little bit. Start to move our feet and our hands. And start to move the legs, the arms. And then we can start to move the whole body. Maybe your body feels like stretching a little bit. When you feel ready, you can roll over to the side. I'm just going to be laying here a little bit, taking a few breaths. Then, if you're ready, you can slowly get back up. Seated position. Yeah, and that's today's class. So thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.